I want to remind everybody that this would not have been possible without the folks who underwrote this program. The Green Builder team, all of our sponsors, our partners, the great folks here in Orlando, and all of you. When I suggested this event to the Green Builder team, I really had to think about the terminology. And the first one was the word symposium. And I want to make sure that I had the right term, so I went to, I got on Google, went to Wikipedia, and I had the right term. And it says that a symposium is a discussion among like-minded people, that want to share ideas. It also has a second definition, and that is a drunken party. Now, it's not lost on me that I am the only thing standing between all of you and the bar downstairs. So I'm going to be really quick here. But I do want to say, and I mean this, one of my favorite sayings is that to serve and to be served are folds in the same cloth. And I would appreciate some recognition for the folks who have done all the great AV work, the serving, everything that happened here today. So if you don't mind. It's interesting because Philippe mentioned the term ivory tower, and the second term was sustainability. And I had read this rather pompous article that came out a while back in one of the architecture magazines. And this is, from one of the ivory tower guys who's smarter than the rest of us and is more forward-thinking. And perhaps he is, I don't know. He's not a real architect like Peter Pfeiffer and people that actually put real projects on the ground, but he comes up with some pretty good talks sometimes. And he said that it's a meager ambition. Sustainability is a meager ambition. And the article went on to say that sustainability is dead, that half the electorate in this country is the evidence that sustainability is dead because of the outcome of the recent elections. Well, I beg to differ, and I'm not as smart as the guy in the ivory tower, but I can tell you sustainability is not dead. Sustainability may be dormant, it may be hibernating, but it's not dead. And the reason it's not is because we have not attained sustainability. We can get up in the ivory tower and we can call for regenerative this and all sorts of pie-in-the-sky notions, but you got to have a foundation to work from. And that foundation is going to be achieved by people like us. So whatever else happens, don't let anybody tell you that that's the case. More than 40 years ago, that's hard to say, more than 40 years ago, I stumbled upon a tome by a gentleman named Robert M. Persig, and it's called Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. Anybody ever read Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance? Does anybody know what the subtitle of that book is? It's an inquiry into values. And that's what we're really here talking about today, folks. We're talking about values. You see, Persig, it took him 400 and some pages to get this idea across, and it took me about 4 times through the book to understand this very simple premise. And that is that we can fill the world with great ideas. We can fill the world with programs full of good things for other people to do. But it's those underlying values. It's the things that we take for granted. And that's why it's what's beneath the surface that matters the most. And if we will take control in our own hearts and our own minds and our own hands, and we will demonstrate those values in the way we live and the pursuits that we have, that's how we're going to change the world. Also earlier today, people have been stealing my stuff all day. Martin O'Malley made reference to JFK. JFK, I was just a kid, but I strapped on my tool belt my 12th summer. And that November, on a cold afternoon, I was cleaning bricks in a brickyard in southeastern Colorado for a penny apiece. And I had this little, anybody remember a crystal radio? Didn't really have a battery. It was magic is how it worked. And it sounded terrible, but I was cleaning brick for a penny apiece, and I could clean 1,000 bricks after school. And $10 was a lot of money to a 12-year-old kid at that time. But I was listening to the news reports about what had happened in Dallas. And so I've always kept JFK and his words close to my heart and my mind. It's not all serious. I want to leave you smiling. Most people think that, his inauguration speech, "Ask not what your country can do for you," they rate that as his best talk. It's not true. That is probably his third best talk. His second best talk came in 1962 at Rice Stadium in Houston, Texas. And he was calling on the nation and on Congress to send a man to the moon and bring him safely home. And he used the analogy in that football stadium of Rice University and the Texas Longhorns. Now, at that time, the Southwest Conference was a powerhouse. Anybody remember this? Sure. University of Texas, Arkansas, et cetera, et cetera. Rice was a great academic school, but it was a whipping boy. And he said, Rice doesn't play Texas in football because it's easy. They do it because it's hard. He said, we choose to send a man to the moon, not because it's easy, because it's hard, and it will benefit all mankind. Now, you can ponder that for a minute. I want to let you know that that was his second best speech. We don't have an audio recording or a text of his best speech, but it was the one that he had to come up with for Jackie when Marilyn Monroe saying, "Happy birthday, Mr. President." That is the best presidential address ever given. This number represents something else about Zen and the art of motorcycle maintenance or inquiry into values. This is about perseverance. This is the number of publishers that turned down Persig's book before he finally got somebody to publish it. 122. So the next time you're up against a big fight, the next time you get depressed because national policy is being threatened, just make sure you've covered at least 122 tries. We owe it to him. We owe it to ourselves. And I got one last slide, and this one is a tribute to my friend Chris Castro, who said to me last night, we need bold action. We need bold action, folks. There ain't a bull that can't be rode. There ain't a cowboy can't be throwed. But we're never going to quit, and we're going to employ bold action. There are some very good servers waiting for you downstairs. You have shared your precious time and your resources with us. I humbly thank each and every one of you. That's it. Thank you.
you.